Good morning. It's 8:20, May 28th, 2021. And the title of my broadcast today is called Trust No One. Uh, there's a reason why I'm saying this. First of all, let me say this is sponsored by B.U.M.M.A, my nonprofit. Know the walk to talk the talk. There's a reason why I say this to you. I'm a 50-year-old man as of October 26th this year. And I wanted to ask you this question. Actually, let me make this statement and I'm explaining to you where this is coming from. I started B.U.M.M.A this year. It is a counseling group, and it's for people that have done the training. Thank you to Howard T. Hart Peer Advocacy Training Center in Harlem, New York. Um, I want people to understand what this means. Trust no one. For those of you that are into the secular world, understand when you go to court, over the judge's head, it says, "In God we trust." If you're in a situation and you're privileged and you brag with public displays of affection, you have a significant other. Remember, the yang of this union will always say to you, or you say to her, she says to you, to him, trust. Leave a comment or subscribe to my channel. But this is titled Trust No One for a reason. Let me tell you this first and single most violation. And these are things that can only come to a person with skillful means. What do I mean by that? Like those of you that think you're like God's gift to men, or those of you that think you're God's gift to women. What is skillful means? Just basically means you're competent. All right. Now, unfortunately, due to all the distractions and things that's going on in our lives, we're easily taken away from this. The ship has gone. Excuse me. The ship has sailed. It has left the dock. Destination to another shore thousands of miles away. Whether it's the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, Mediterranean Ocean, or visiting 3 continents. My question to you, have you trusted someone? And when you did, I just like looking at myself. Okay, I'm sorry. My bad. Um, did they leave you to drown? Or did they see you and did they give you a life raft? This is the question that I have. Like, here's a scenario. Trust no one for a reason. Have you ever gone out with somebody that secretly you have a heart? So of course you're going to be nice and be kind because you have a heart, one way or the other, shape or form. Whether it's opening a door, lending somebody money, or sharing food with, or a polite conversation. You might be saying, "Oh, Raymond, so you're like stupid people. Like, oh, you all over the." No, I'm not all over the place. Because you know why? We are all human. We all have feelings. We all have perceptions on life. So if I'm all over the place, that means we all have something in common. So that means you should understand where I'm coming from. Not to get all into, oh, I'm protected and you know, I'm a monk or a nun or something like that. I don't relate. I don't know about that life. Listen, you wasn't born a monk, you wasn't born a nun. Just like a drunk isn't born a drunk, a crackhead isn't born being a crackhead, a whore or a slut or a fast chick isn't born being a fast chick. Just like a guy that's a baby father or has illegitimate children in past from past relationships, they didn't come out wanting to do that. That's just a consequence of being irresponsible. That's another topic, but I'm going to share with you. This is the reason why I named this broadcast Trust No One. Because if a person claims to be your friend, we skip the other preliminaries like casual and I'm sorry, it'll come to me. I'm sorry. I'm being sponsored. I'm sponsoring myself this Memorial Weekend, of course. You know I like that. Okay. So by the way, no, because sometimes when people ask to have your company and you, you just you're on edge. Your nerves are worked up, and people try to act as if like they're cool, but they're not. And this is what I mean by skillful means. If somebody offers you something, if you're religious and you offer somebody something, skillful means explains or specifies that they're trying to exonerate or clear or gain favor. That's another distraction if you don't understand. This is what I mean by skillful means. In other words, just means if you're competent. And if you are, which uh, without using these type of words, like I said, this is not for kids. So if you don't understand where I'm coming from, understand this. Do you understand the life that you're living? Because trust no one came from somewhere, and this is why I'm sharing this. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it. Listen, don't get it fucked up. This is my channel. I'll talk how I want to talk. And most of you are getting it fucked up. Now, don't think because like me, I'm celibate, all right? I'll be honest with you. I've been for going on 3 years now. Yeah, I had hits and misses, but listen, it just reminds me when I was 13 years old. And where does this come from? It just gives me flashbacks. And when I was 13, just finding out about myself as a human being with feelings and perception. I didn't even know what perception or feelings was at 13. What is that? I just know these are things that I felt because of what I saw with these eyes. That I'm surprised my eyesight hasn't gone by now because I'm seeing so much at 49 turning 50. I'm understanding. I am having a certain type of hindsight. And I say this because this is where trust no one comes from. Because if we all have these same eyeballs in our skulls, inserted in our brain, divinely designed and constructed to build an anatomy to make another human being. And for those of you that have done that, can you say that you're guiding your children in the right direction? Because I wasn't raised by my father, I was raised by my mom. Okay. And not only did I gain my strength, but I learned. I mean, she was a female, so she had to use her skillful means with her feminine ways. Now, out of respect, I'm just gonna say back then, which is going to be 50. We're talking like 1988. 87, between 87 to like 95 in that time period. Some of you young guys, young gals, like I said, this is not for kids. If you're 18 or 25 and you're looking at this, understand, like I said, I'm a certified forensic peer specialist. Okay. And I'm speaking from a perspective of mental health, mainly in the harm reduction phase of life at this point. Some people might call it recovery. This is why I titled this Trust No One. Why? Know thyself to trust thyself first is what I mean by this. That's the answer. 5 minutes ago, I was talking, and this is what skillful means has taught me. Okay? I know my profile is pretty awesome. I understand that. But this comes with time. This is something that is it didn't happen overnight. It happened with a lot of this and patience with myself and trusting myself and my skillful means, which is if you don't understand what that actually is, it's something that comes along with this. You could leave a comment or subscribe, but it's something that comes along with this. All right. And we cannot no longer be a slave to everything that you see anymore. For crying out loud. This is the beautiful thing about having skillful means. You need to understand that if you continue attaching or connecting yourself to other people that are human like you, nothing wrong. These are called relatives or friends or co-workers. I understand that. Now, trust no one for a reason. Why? Simple. Human beings are created to disappoint our ancestors because there's a reason why they were who they are who they are. So I'm saying this just to say, listen, let me explain something to you. Me, I may not be for the years to come. I may not be into wanting to get with another female because whatever is sweet turns sour. This is what I learned, and that's food for thought. And I'm just giving that to you because you're watching my channel, and I know you will. So I like this song. So excuse me. I'm in the 90s still phase of my life because everything about that time period, that's when I graduated high school. That's the year that I started to go. Later, I took a year off, I think, and I went to college, LaGuardia Community College. And I was living in Brooklyn at the time, in Midwood, Brooklyn, Flatbush, East Flatbush. I just want to talk with you for a minute so you understand. I know the walk to talk the talk. How dare you try to insult and say, "Oh, I'm all talk, no this and that." Somebody said this. What do I care? You can say whatever you like. It's a free world. You can say whatever you like. But remember, one day you will say something and you might bite your tongue, not wanting to do it, but you just might bite your tongue, accidentally trying to insult or say something to hurt someone's feelings, or hurt somebody, or insult somebody, or be disrespectful, or better yet, this is the thing that I was told when I was a kid. Raising by a single parent, you're rude. This is something that Americans don't have no issue about simply because they're American. And then now with the coming out of covert and everything, no more quarantined, like everybody's coming out, but mind yourself. That's why it is titled Trust No One. And I'm saying this because I need for you to understand what this means. So while you go out there and spend your money, and on that dollar bill, it says, trust in God, or whatever the saying goes close to that. That's another issue. I'm gonna talk about that too. For those of you that believe in a God, I'm gonna speak on that. Trust no one. Are you willing to make that sacrifice? Are you willing to actually step out the boundaries of the shoebox that's going to get, not even going to, the minute you get those kicks on your feet, you throwing that box on the floor, you putting it in the garbage. But them same shoes will get worn out. When are you going to get worn out from all the nonsense that you think is going to always be fresh, but can't get guess what? It's going to collect dust, it's going to get torn, it's going to get dirty. So for those of you that are going through it right now, and I'm telling you, because I'm not going through it, because I'm divorced, I'm separated. I mean, my termination papers are in the city of New York court clerk's office because I had to make a decision. Because you know why? Trust no one. You see, some people are so far into their iniquities, some people are so far into their wrongdoing, they won't even know that they did you wrong because it's become customary, it's become a condition for them. Like myself, look, I did myself wrong. I got myself some Stella. Listen, hey, I didn't steal from nobody. I didn't rob nobody. I didn't take from no one. Yes, that's something that I have to face for myself. But at the same time, listen, let me explain something. I and like you should understand, this is a new world order and how things are working. This album is the 90s and it came out back then. Now look at how we're living now. There's still pain, there's still violence, there's still cheating. So whether you consider yourself single, in a relationship, family, whatever, trust no one. Because what's gonna happen is somebody gonna get hurt. Believe me when I tell you. Just because you're the one that instigated or started the problem or even started the good. Now, even if you did good, bye. You have to continue doing that job, that work of doing good. Because if you do bad, you're going to do the same. You're going to continue doing it. And what you're going to say, my bad? When is it going to be your good? Haven't done it yet. You can't give me ideas that I don't already give myself. So I say trust no one. So if someone tells you I'll leave you alone and this and that or whatever because they feel, no, that's them. That's on them. They created that space for themselves. That has nothing to do with the other person. See, if a person does that to you, that's why I tell you, trust no one. This goes back to saying skillful means. If you are so competent, I'm living a life where I decided to become honest, transparent, clear, vocal, there's another word for that, but vehement. vehemently. I am telling you what I'm saying to you in a manner, in a way, so you could tell me or not. No, I have a problem. My problem is it's my job, like I told you. I'm not getting paid for this, but I'm telling you, as an advocate, not a devil's advocate. There's too many of those. And some of them look at each other like they're stupid and a fool because guess what? He just made you look dumb. Because I tell you one thing, devil don't give no damns about you. He just wants to destroy you. So you and your demons, if those are your best friends, stick with them. Don't come around me. Don't try to reach out to me. Because I'm gonna die being an advocate, all right? Because I was once sick and suffering. And guess what? Today I know what those things are. I just don't stay near them. I just don't allow them into my space. You can't hang out with me. You can't have my company. I don't even want your company. And sometimes I don't even want my own company because of the things that I'm thinking. Like I've thought about. I'm not going to act out on it. I'm not going to do it. But just to know that in my mind, I'm thinking of these things only because, you know what? That's why I said this broadcast is titled "Trust No One," and that's for a reason. Because if you yourself, like I've been talking to you here, and I'm gonna say this for myself, I'm gonna keep it on me. If I can't apologize to you, if I cannot thank you, if I can, then you know something is not right. As we used to say, the elevator doesn't go to the last floor. It doesn't go all the way up. It gets stuck. And when the elevator gets stuck, people got to get places and come from places to go to other places. And if it gets stuck, nobody goes anywhere. And then claustrophobia starts to set in. Your nerves starts to set in. Things just get out of hand. Basically, you lose control. This is why it's titled, this broadcast is titled, Trust No One. Like I said, folks, B.U.M.M.A, I will have merchandise this year. You know, I'm going to start wearing it myself. Sweatshirts, t-shirts, sweatpants. Okay? Started off like that. And you tell me how it looks. You know. But with the designs I have, I think you're gonna like it. But anyway, I pray for you because no one knows more than the person that feels the pain. With that being said, thank you so much.